y'all. We are in a state of emergency. We are in a crisis, and it's not to scare nobody. Just get everybody prepared. If you don't know what's going on, we just had 2 mass shootings within 2 in 1 day. El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. And the President of the United States is out here spewing rhetoric just like George Wallace did in the 50s and the 60s. And minorities is under attack. You understand? It might not have hit your home and your community yet, but you need to know what's going on. And that's my job here is to let you know what's going on. We can't continue to laugh you through your problems and make everything feel good and feel great or whatever just because it hadn't affected your community. I'm pretty sure 6 of the 9 of those black people that listen to us, and anybody, whether they black or white, it don't matter. It don't matter. You understand? Synagogues is under attack, and just these people, white supremacists, and they're talking about building a wall because you don't want Mexicans and stuff in this country and drug dealers or whatever. You know, white supremacy is the biggest problem in the United States, according to the FBI. That's the biggest threat to the United States. Not even Al Qaeda. You understand? So just because it hadn't happened to you or haven't happened in your community, don't mean that it can't. Because everywhere that this man has gone to campaign, crime has went up 226%. Understand? So it's dangerous out there, and they have infiltrated the police departments and the fire departments, and they have infiltrated everything. They have traded in the Ku Klux Klan mask for certain ties and badges. Did they feel like I'm sure y'all feel it when you go to Walmart or when you go to Home Depot or any shopping place or grocery store or McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feel hated and feel uncomfortable when I walk through the airport. I get on the plane and they got their Make America Great hats on and all that stuff. So I got Glennon 3 on the phone, Attorney Glennon 3. He came over yesterday and we sat here for about 4 hours and had a conversation about this. And I was literally scared to drive. I was scared to go to church yesterday.
You know, Ricky, good morning. It is past a point of crisis. And it's to the point now where I get angry when I hear these legislators talking about sending thoughts and prayers. We need more than thoughts and prayers, Ricky. We need them to do something. You know, I looked back at the response of the president of New Zealand when they had the shooting there. In less than a month, they enacted sweeping legislation to address the incidents of gun violence. They have had a similar attack since then. You know, we sat still and watched while first graders got murdered in their school. People prayed with domestic terrorists, white supremacist terrorists that came in their church and prayed with them in Charlottesville and murdered them. You know, we saw people getting killed in their places of worship in Pittsburgh. We're seeing people mowed down, and these clearly are white supremacists. And I was saying to my wife this morning, you haven't seen any of these mass murderers say that they were inspired by Barack Obama.
None.
So this racist rhetoric is the seed that grows into a plant that bears the fruit of mass murder by domestic terrorists that are white nationalists. And something has to be done about it. I looked at one of the other networks that has a little bit different viewpoint than mine this morning, and I was listening to them scramble to try to find excuses for one of the guys was talking about how he owned AR-15s and that you shouldn't restrict the rights of lawful gun owners. There are all sorts of things that law-abiding people can't possess, like poison and explosives and commercial-grade fireworks. It does not restrict the rights of law-abiding people for nobody to have military-grade assault rifles. In Ohio, they responded in less than a minute and 9 people were killed.
9?
The police got there in less than a minute, Ricky, and 9 people were killed. So if we don't do something about these weapons, we're going to be right in this same situation again. It's going to be some other community. People are going to be out there, and what we're going to hear from these elected people is thoughts and prayers. And that's not enough anymore. They got to do something now, and we've got to force them to do it. I was looking at the crowds of people that protested the governor in Puerto Rico. You saw what happened.
Right. He resigned.
Right. So we have power to do something about it, Rickey, and we need to do something before the next community is watching their loved ones, 4-month-old babies getting shot in a Walmart. What has to happen in order for us to do something about it?
It's almost become a sense of normal. It's been normalized, almost like somebody stole some rims.
Yeah.
It's just normal. Like this can't be happening.
I cannot imagine being in Walmart with my family shopping and hear semi-automatic weapons fire in the store, Rickey.
Right. It's so that the shooter in El Paso, Texas, is being investigated as domestic terrorist.
Rickey, the guy had a manifesto. He had a political manifesto that he released on a website, 8chan, that is known for promoting this type of racist rhetoric and speech. They didn't take the website offline, even though they knew that that was where the Christchurch shooter published his manifesto before he killed innocent people. You know, this guy released his manifesto an hour before I guess it was while he was driving 900 miles to kill brown people that he had never seen before, inspired by the racist rhetoric that's coming from the White House.
So now we can't go to church. We sit in church, and then they come and shoot innocent people while they sit in church worshiping the same God that you claim that you love. Because the Republicans and white supremacists and racists are the first to claim how much they love God and or whatever, but you hate people of color. Now, unless we serving two different gods, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying, Rickey. The hypocrisy of it is appalling. But the problem is that it has gone past the point of just being hypocritical rhetoric. People are dying.
And shout out to all mega churches. No mega churches out here speaking against this stuff, warning your members about racism and how to protect themselves. But we up here talking about God and how good God is and prosperity preaching and God gonna make a way out of no way and this, that. But you don't. Pastor Haynes, I'm sure was all over it.
Did you see the governor of Texas? He said, we want to finish the memorials before we politicize this event. Talk about that. When are we going to talk about it?
Right.
People are tired of going to funerals. They want something done.
Right. Let us know what are your thoughts. You can get at me, 866-9-RICKY, 866-9-RICKY. We're going to be talking about this. I want to get somebody on that's going to let people know what their rights are and how they should protect themselves and protect their families, because just as sure as this man is president of the United States, it's on its way to your community. You could be next. Coming up, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.